Greetings, crafters, and welcome to episode 65 of T-Kush 35's Better Than Wolves playthrough. Had a little stumble there. Today, I want to work on auto-feeding in two parts. One, auto-feeding for the meat grinder, and two, I want to automatically feed my wolves. If not one, then at least two of them. To do that, I'm going to need a bunch of dispensers. As it stands, I think I have enough dispensers to auto-feed, well, let's see. If I have a hope that the one dispenser can feed two of those animals in the meat grinder, since they're in corners with each other. So to that end, I need some pressure plates and some more redstone torches. Oops, that is not at all what I meant to do. That was dumb. Luckily, sticks are cheap. I meant to make actual torches out of them. Silly me, silly me. Okay, and then I have some wood. So, let's go on over here. And I'm gonna try having the dispenser be for this one right here. So let's go ahead and bring this down just a little bit so that I can put dispenser here with block underneath it. Right, okay. So we're diving right in. Go ahead and set the dispenser right here with some wheat, and then go ahead and surround it with cobble. And the thing is, I have to get these two on slightly different feeding schedules. I think it'll be okay. Oh shoot, it's already been a bit since I've fed them. So I'm just going to go ahead and feed that other one. Okay, cool. But it didn't fire right away again. Why didn't it fire right away again? Oh, because it never actually hit the ground. That's why. So there. Now we should be okay, and it, in theory, should keep that stocked. So let's go ahead and get that other... Whoops. Get the other cow fed so that he's on a feeding schedule. Alright, so that made a baby cow. Cool. And we'll have the same setup over here with some planks and... Oh, of note, I don't know if anyone else knew this, but you cannot make bows from hemp fibers, so string is actually still super important. So I'm going to stop murdering the string when I see it, and instead actually use it. Okay. Anywho, bring this back down, put a plank there. Dispenser. Oops. That's not where I want it. I want you right here. And I wanted this out so I could access this. Yep. Got there eventually. Redstone torch. Oh. I suppose it might need some wheat in it, huh? Just maybe. Yep, mismatched wood. Don't care right now. Let's go ahead and toss the wheat in there. Cool. So, of course, this is prone to breaking in some way, shape, or form, but I can go in and fix it. The animals aren't going to die if it doesn't work. I do... So I need more dispensers than I thought. Luckily I think I need just one more string. So where did I put that in position over here? On that side. For symmetry's sake, I guess I kind of want to do that. So, comparatively speaking, it feeds right here. Yeah, okay. So we'll go ahead and tear some of this up. Ooh, is that going to mess with anything? Yes. No? No, that'll be fine. Nope, this right here is fine. Place that with that. Let's see. So it's feeding to the block behind it. Yeah. So the food sits here. Torch is here. Yep. Okay. So surround this. Get a little more light on the subject. Get the pressure plate. Get the dispenser. Not the direction I want it to face. That. How do zombies keep getting in here? I don't know where that zombie came from. Except maybe over here. So let's block that off. I think I need to just wall up this whole area. These poor animals are defenseless. Oh, but we have had our first successful crop or two already. As you can see here. Working nicely. I was just having to manually feed them. It hasn't been too much time since I recorded the last episode. I wanted to kind of get these put together right away. Anywho. But it's been enough time that I've already had an incident where a zombie got in and killed some things. And as you can see, it's still a problem. I don't know where things are coming from, but that's the world I'm living in right now. Struggle busting with that. Chicken still getting fed? No, not really. I need to revamp this so that it uses a clock to re-trigger itself or something. Anyway, this has wheat in it now. And there. Should be good to go. Excellent. It's working. And how do I want to do this? I almost want to put glass on top of this. Yeah, glass is cheap enough, right? I mean, I can still pick up the item if I'm too close, but that'll protect other things from getting the items. Spider. Come here, you. I need your string. No! Whew. Whew. That was close. Darn creepers. Creepers be creeping, trying to kill me. Not today. Okay, so that's automatic feeding for the meat grinder, which is going to be its official name. I like it. Just fill this in with cobble since it's a free resource compared to dirt. And replant some trees. So next up is going to be some automatic wolf feeding, or dog feeding, which is going to require a little more setup, because I'm going to need a place for those dogs to live. So let's go ahead and get rid of those little useless items. Yeah. So this is it in action. Those little guys will stay in there until they grow up, and then they'll eventually wander over here. And occasionally I can run over here with some wheat in hand and just tempt them into that. But let's go ahead, block this off a little bit more. Makes it less pretty to see. But for now, I want to focus on, you know, keeping things alive. Okay, so I'm going to need another dispenser, which that spider was kind enough to help us out with. And the reason I need another one... Oh, and by the way, I was not even close to out of gold for some reason I neglected, like an episode or two ago, and I said, oh, I'm just barely out of gold. I neglected to recall that I have a whole bunch of gold ingots. I'm silly. Okay, so we have 2 dispensers. We're going to need... nope, just the 1 pressure plate and 1 redstone torch. So we are good to go for 1 automated feeding zone. But let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and... I'm glad that I've been gathering all this wheat now that I'm going to be having this stuff going on. Double up the wheat that we have around. That way these should not run out for a decent amount of time. And as long as nothing disrupts them, these should just keep the animals fed and be good to go. Okay. Doing a lot of jumping. We have to do some food production in the near future. Anyway, so I gotta figure out where I have room to put some dogs, and ideally have room to put some dogs there, all 4. Well, I think I'm only going to keep 2 because it's going to be a bit resource intensive to keep 4 dogs around for now. I do not quite have the meat production for that, I don't think. Don't get me wrong, these dogs have been great, but it's going to get expensive. Right side is the plan I have is not going to waste the food. It just spits it out more often than we need to. Anyway, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to try to put that dog setup, and I will be back. So I was doing some work around the base, and my cows got out. Are there some left? Yeah. Well, there's... These little guys will grow up eventually, and we'll be able to rebuild. But we're definitely going to count these guys as lost, because I don't have a good way of farming them. Ugh. Well, eventually I will, and until then they'll hopefully survive. Jeez, that was dumb. So there was a creeper, and I thought I was out of its eyesight, but I clearly wasn't. So it blew up right there, which knocked out the wall. And that's why you probably shouldn't have animal farms so close to the wall that you're going to be skirting around. And with that in mind, I really need to work on that. Is this setup still okay? Yeah, it's fine. And there's a cow in it. And there's no good way of getting that cow back, so that one's just going to die eventually. Anyway, still working. I've been clearing... okay, so... I've been clearing this area out. I think this water source is going to be good to use for the dog machine, and that'll be close to the food source over here. Oh, and let's quick show this bad boy in action with some adults. So they just wander over, and then the water pushes them, and then it pushes the food and drops over here, which goes into the hopper, which goes into the chest. Good? Good. I still need to make some stairs here. Oh. I have stairs. I could probably do that. 2, 3. There's at least some. Yeah, see, so they'll just, oh, the cow's accidentally killing the sheep because he's scared. That's going to continue being a problem. But hey, look at all those little guys ready to go forth and grow up and then be slaughtered. It's good stuff. Okay, and that wheat's still there. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna keep working on this area and see what I can do to make it fit for a little wolf feeding system for 2. Though, I'll need another dispenser yet. We'll figure it out. I'm going to get the framework laid out and go from there. I'm not going to actually lay the frame out. I'm going to get cleared out for the framework, and then I'll be back. See you then. Brief distraction. I've actually decided to not cut my losses with these cows because they represent a lot of time and effort. So I just built up a little stairwell, and I'm going to gather as many of them as I can and shove them back in that hole. So I'll be back when I'm actually continuing progress on the automatic dog feeder. See you then. Alrighty, and I'm back. And as you can see, I have started squaring off the area that I'm going to have the split wolf feeder mechanism. So each of these water sources is going to go to feed 1 dog. So I had a little thought while I was running around here, and that's I probably could do this system differently and make it much more expandable if I were to actually make it some sort of repeating mechanism. So just have 1 water flow and have it trigger multiple times from 1 5-minute timer, and then shoot 2, 3, 4 pieces of meat and feed multiple dogs. However, and then I'd also only need 1 firing dispenser. It would be only 1 source that I need to keep the dogs fed. But for this system, I think it's fine to just have the 2 independently managed and independently fed sources. Otherwise, it gets a little bit overwhelming for me. So start small. I can make a bigger, better system later. So with that, we have these 2 water sources. I need them to go a little bit further. No, they hit this 1, and then they move forward. That sounded like a creeper explosion. Those are the stairwell blocks. Oh, yep. There's some meat over there. It must have encountered a creeper while getting attacked. The cows are pretty good at defending themselves, but not the greatest, obviously. They'll survive a while, but not a long while. Especially if creepers are around. Anywho, back to this. So, I need the 2 water sources. Check. Now, I need those water sources to drop down. They need to go forward 1 block. So let's go ahead and set that up. Okay, they've gone forward, and then this is where they drop down 1. And so I know exactly what I need to do because I tested this a little bit. That way I figured I'd have the best chance of actually getting it together. And then let's see. Without being too time and resource intensive, that is. So there's this. We need each of these to be fed by redstone signals because we want hoppers here and here eventually. And redstone signal comes from a single block upon which has the, oh no, that was a slab. The pressure plate. That's going to be surrounded by, I'm going to make it glass in this case, that way I can see in, because that seems like fun. So let's go ahead and put these glass bits in. And then that last bit is the dispenser, which I probably should have placed first, because angles. Let's get that. Okay, cool. So that's the timing mechanism. With item decay, that will happen every 5 minutes. I like the idea of having a slab up top. Okay, and then when I'm ready to roll, I just go ahead and put the redstone torch in there. And I think I heard some dogs whine, but I'm not going to worry about that yet since I'm working on this automated system. So let's see. In the middle here, we have a wall that separates the two pens, and each one has water sources that come in. So go ahead and make this too tall because why not? Let's see. If this drops down, I don't want to fill in that. I want to fill in this. I'm going to have to go make some more wood at some point because I'm using all wood for this build because I don't have a lot of stone. Usually I'd use stone or stone bricks. But since that's not the resource I have, that's not going to be the resource that I build with. So let's see. If the water's coming down here, I'm somehow not... My brain keeps short-circuiting, so I'm not sure what I'm doing. Well, whatever. So that block's not there, but this block is. So it comes down, so we surround this. And this is the floor that the dog is on. Right? No, it's coming down one. The floor's here. Then we have the slab in the middle. And then we have more wall. So the dog can't get out. Duh. Well, actually it's more so the poop doesn't fly out. Because that's the most important resource. The poop. So let's go ahead and... No, I'm going to continue on this side. And then what I want is a water flow over here to put everything into one collection zone. In the test world, I had this have to be here. So let's go ahead and replace that with all of this. Yeah, I can definitely hear dogs whining. And this build being so close to in the town, in the village, will be convenient because then I'll hear if it's misfiring or whatever, and the dogs are hungry or I've run out of food, what have you. Yeah, so the water will come here and end up somewhere around here in a hopper or whatever I decide. So let's go make a hopper quick. Let's make 3 of them. That way I just have those pre-placed. Not that I have enough food source to justify the hopper quite yet, but it'll still come in handy eventually. So, 1, 2, 3. Pressure plates, gears, and corners. Okay. I should be managing this and just cooking it as I go. But I always forget. I should probably also just go get I should go on a clay run, get a whole bunch of clay for multiple reasons. I could use a bunch of clay for ovens. I could use a bunch of clay for pottery because expanding the wheat farms and localizing them would be a good thing to work on in the near future. So let's go ahead and replace the hopper placeholders with actual hoppers. And the great thing about them being lined up like this is I can put a gearbox here and power them from one source, which will be excellent. So let's... Do I care about putting that water there yet? No. Not the water. Yeah, I was talking about the water. Okay, we're just gonna put a hopper right here for now. In the other one, I had it in another spot, but it's just the collection point. It's not as important. So let's double check that this is good to go. Whoops, not right there, right there. Okay, so knock out that water. Yep, dog will sit there, water goes there, and it'll fill in at that point. Excellent. Actually, let's go ahead and put that there and that there. Okay. Good to go. Knock that out. So now I just got to get the dog in there, which I will do by putting those here. Doing a lot of jumping around, but that's fine. I have an okay food source. And we'll just push him up this little slide and he'll drop in there. And that'll be, well, actually, I'll need to cap this off anyway, so why not do it now? That'll be fine, and then I'll close it up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this on the other side, and I will be back when that's done. Okay, and here we go. I had to tear this out to double check. But we have this duplicated. It is ready for some dogs and capping the whole thing off. So I'm going to go get the dogs up here, get some more wood to finish the build, and I will be back in a jiffy. Alrighty, here we're back with two very willing pooches. I just fed them, so that might throw this off a little bit, but it's not based on them pooping yet. Eventually I'll be able to do that. I think I can just replace this system as is with a dispenser or a detector block right here, which will pulse over to this. And then I won't need the 5-minute timer, and it'll be a lot better as far as that goes. So let's set it up so that the dogs can just get plopped right in there. And yeah, this system's fine. Alright, so I have a route to move them with. Just push them up the slab. And push this bad boy in. Ha ha! No! Oh no, doggy, why? Don't die. Alright, come on back. Do your teleporting thing. Come on. Come on. Do the thing where you appear out of nowhere. Like a creepy dog. Dog. Oh, I wonder if I'm supposed to... I can't remember if I'm supposed to keep the dogs away from the animals. Can you really not teleport right now? I'm gonna go get this sorted out. Be back in a second. Okay, so to prevent that from happening again, I've gone ahead and blocked off all of the spots. I've blocked off the water, and we're just gonna push the dogs in, and they should now be in a spot where they won't get swept away by the water. Hopefully. We'll find out in a second here. Getting them in the hole is going to be the difficult part since it's only 1 block wide. And placement's funky. Alright, cool. 1 dog in. Let's get the other dog in. And then I will clear out all the wood. And from there, I can hopefully get this system going. Provided I have some food for the dogs. Alright. Do I have any more wheat? No. That's fine. Okay. So now I just have to nonchalantly knock out all these blocks that I placed. 1, 2... Okay, I need to silence my dings. Hopefully that hasn't been too annoying. Sorry for all that. Chatty Cathy's up in my Facebook chats today. Alright. Okay. Now, knock out the water. Yeah. Okay, so what must have happened last time is the dog was technically on the edge of the block, and thus he, ooh, just realized that this might be problematic. Well, no, I think it should be fine. Okay. So let's go get some food supplies to shove in here, and then we can start the timer, and it's gonna be glorious. So let's, yeah, go see how much food I have in the meat grinder. Should be a bit, hopefully. Yeah, some stacks. Awesome. I really need 1 more set of steps. Here, I have that. Whoops. No, cows, stop. You're killing everybody else. Cut it out. One disadvantage of putting cows with not cows. That's a bummer. But life will go on. Those resources are... oh, they're all just gone. I probably should have had 2 separate systems for cows versus not. But whatever. Life goes on, right? Okay, so for timer, since stone is so easy to keep track of, I'm just gonna, well, toss it around first, I guess. We're just gonna put a whole bunch of little stones in there, since that's an even easier resource to obtain than sawdust, is what I would have used in the past. So we fire this. These 2 shoot food, which will either feed the dogs or go past them down into the receptacle here. And since they weren't hungry, they don't take the food. So all I have to do is periodically come check this to see that the food supplies are in stock and that the timer's still going. So, just gonna make this a little prettier than what it was. Granted, it's just a bunch of wood, so prettiness is subjective. I certainly wouldn't call it pretty, just a little more homogeneous. So to make them not shy, we're just gonna tuck them away like that. And then for now, all I have to do is come up here, check those. And if I really wanted to, I could switch the side that this dispenser is on so that I only have to check here and here. I don't hate that idea. But for now, I'll just keep it and see how annoying it is. This is going to be relatively easy compared to these, because these can only do stacks of 16. So that is automatic feeding of wolves and farm animals. One's a lot simpler than the other, but, you know, it is what it is. So that will do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.